What's up, you stupid hoes? It's Respawning Fire. Yeah, what's up? This is our RAFter Dark episode.
We hope you don't regret paying $1 to access this episode early.
This is where we get nasty. What do they call them? Do they call them hoes? What did I say?
I think that's what you said.
What did I say? You stupid hoes. That's what I said.
Yeah.
What's up, you
because
stupid
you HVAC hose. Yeah.
HVAC, yeah. Y'all couldn't hear it. Maybe I'll put it in the edit. Y'all couldn't hear it, but I was singing about garden hoses at Home Depot and HVAC hoses. And so we start out strong. What's up, you stupid hoses?
This is me if I was hoeing my vertical garden. So it's like what you would do when you're hoeing a garden, but the garden is vertical.
If you're hoeing a vertical garden, you could... What if you make a robot? You make a robot whose sole function is to hoe a vertical garden. How many other things can you market that robot for? Brushing hair?
Yeah, that's true.
Jerking off a wiener? Milking a cow?
I thought
plunging?
I thought Cozy was just reenacting that Drake video that leaked like a year ago. You remember that video, like last summer? There's some video of him just like stroking his Johnson in bed, and it was just flopping everywhere.
He's just like laid all the way back, like
yeah.
Then Kendrick killed him.
Like, is he like pretending to do it, or is he like an actual leaked video of him jerking off?
Oh,
I think
it's
he's
an
just doing
actual
under the
video.
covers. Yeah.
Oh my god!
You don't see his Johnson, but he's definitely just like sitting in the bed doing it.
Him taking a video like in a mirror adjacent to his bed.
Wow. Good for him. Good for him. We all know who
Good
he
for
is.
him.
Who is we is. We is the people that you have chosen to give $1 a month to. Whoa. You can hear my printer. You're welcome. We are Respawning Fire, the kick-ass irreverent gaming podcast brought to you by Affable Idiots. We are doing a special Patreon exclusive for 30 days episode right now called RAFter Dark. So if you are a patron over at patreon.com/respawningfire, you get to hear us do a specific episode every month that is special in some way. Maybe it's Cozy Baking a Cake. Maybe it's all of us watching Monster Hunter and talking about Power Rangers during it. Maybe it's RAFter Dark, where we talk about anything but video games. This month is another RAFter Dark.
Adam clearly didn't see this Drake video because you definitely just see all of his penis.
I must have seen the edited version. It's all Drake penis? What do I Google to find this video?
I'm texting it to you right now, Chad. I'm already
Thank you.
Don't worry.
Thank you. God, I love you. You're such a good friend.
Right,
yeah, only friends send other friends videos of draking it.
Oh, by the way, I love that. It's on archive.org.
Yeah,
we had to go the Wayback Machine and find this video. Holy shit, that's a cock.
That's how you know it's probably
real.
That's a
full-ass penis.
That's how you know it's probably real, is if it's only on archive.org and you can't find it anywhere else. Because Drake had that shit pulled down from everywhere. I thought that's what Cozy was reenacting when he was...
No. It was me hoeing my vertical garden.
For the record, yeah. Drake's got a giant wiener. So, speaking...
And
probably
that video's just playing on repeat in my text.
I know, it's in the thumbnail. It's just playing.
I'm going to delete that.
Yeah, speaking of other people who have giant wieners, the four of us. I'm Chad, Michael, pretty big-sized wiener Innes, one of your co-hosts. We've got our other co-host here, Adam, also's got a large-sized wiener, probably, Gumbert. How are you, Adam?
Thank you very much. Funny thing is, I'm not going to talk about video games. Yasuke is a historical figure, and the way he's portrayed sometimes is like the largest man on Earth, and you just got to know, just proportional-wise, especially to those much smaller people. Ooh, boy.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Dude's coming in with his... Does he use pole arms in that game? I feel like he uses pole arms. No, he's a samurai.
You're literally describing Cozy in Japan in a week.
That's true.
They call me Yasuke over there.
That's right. Man with the biggest wiener in the East
don't know
next
if I
week.
want to do that.
Alex going to Japan with his giant cock. Cozina, how are you, Cozy?
Thank you, Chad. You know, that actually, so here's the thing. I'm not going to go to Japan and say, hey, everyone, I'm Yasuke, because you don't want to do that kind of thing. But now I am thinking, what, like, famous Canadian celebrity do I want to impersonate?
Drake.
Do I want to claim I am? No,
Drake.
I don't. I wouldn't want to do Drake either for multiple reasons, not just because of the Kendrick stuff. I don't know, maybe Ryan Reynolds?
No, because that's too recognizable. It's got to be like a singer.
What about like a
from
figure
Canada?
skater, like an Olympic figure skater?
Yeah.
And you can prove it. Like if people are like, I don't believe you, then you just like, do a triple sow cow right there.
Just say you're Jay Baruchel, because they would never know what he looks like now. You know?
I don't even know who that is.
I googled famous Canadians. Here's a list.
Okay,
Seth
here we
Rogen,
go.
Avril
Yeah?
Lavigne, Justin Bieber,
Yeah,
Ryan
Yeah.
Gosling, Celine Dion.
yeah.
Do Celine
Keanu
Dion
Reeves.
because she's basically almost dead. So if they're like, I don't believe you, I'm like, I can't sing. I'm Celine.
You know
Dion,
what?
My voice. I'm.
You know
almost
what?
dead.
I hate to say
Michael
it.
Cera. Michael Cera's a good one.
Here's the thing. I hate to say it, but I feel like I could convincingly pull off Justin Bieber, because a lot of people know Justin Bieber, not a small boy anymore. He is more grown up. And so they could probably be right in assuming, oh, Justin Bieber probably looks like this now.
Another
figured it
Canadian
out.
whose penis is
I
on the
know.
internet as well.
I found the answer. The answer is Tom Green. That is who Cozy's going to tell everybody in Japan.
My
he is.
bum is on the Swedish.
So
Definitely
Cozy, I put in the
think about
chat
it.
the
Uh-oh.
Wikipedia entry to Jay Baruchel. I think they
Let's
say his
see.
name, Baruchel.
Jay
yeah,
Baruchel.
this guy.
Well,
Yeah, the
here's
guy
the thing. I don't
from
know.
The Sorcerer's
It's spelled
Apprentice.
Baruchel, but
If he was French,
depends.
it would be Baruchel or Baruchel.
Oh, you guys are all the same to me up there, so it doesn't matter.
Let's see. He's best known for his voice role as Hiccup Haddock in How to Train Your Dragon, and for his lead roles in the comedies Fanboys, She's Out of My League, and This Is the End.
wasn't he in a
Okay.
weird ass show on
And The Sorcerer's
on FX
Apprentice
as well?
And The Sorcerer's Apprentice.
Yeah, he was in that show where he like dated that troll or whatever.
Yeah, like he
I remember
dated an
that.
actual troll.
Yeah. Man Seeking Woman from 2015.
That's what it was.
2017.
Yep. I love that you're right there with me, Adam. And then finally, the biggest cock on this call that no one will ever see because when you do, you die. Joel Campos. How are you, Joel?
I had a dream, and I'm here to tell you all about it.
Uh-oh.
So I had
Tell me
a-
about your dream.
I had a dream middle of last week, and it was so strange that I had to text you guys about it immediately. So that way I didn't forget, because I knew I wanted to bring it up again. But so basically, in this dream, me and a bunch of friends are in Paris, right? For whatever reason, Paris, France. We're in Paris. I don't really know what's going on. It's one of those like really hazy dreams. I'm with
Quick
a bunch of
timeout.
friends.
Quick timeout. Have you ever been to Paris or France in
Oh
general?
God, no, I have not.
Okay.
I have not.
Okay, because I was there last summer, so I can actually tell you how accurate this is. I can let you know whether your conscience
Definitely
actually
not accurate.
traveled
No,
to
no.
Let's
Europe.
start
or
by
not.
saying you were in Paris.
Yeah, I was in Paris. Nando's peri sauce. I was in Paris, and I know it wasn't actually Paris because we were just on like some giant fucking bridge that essentially looked like the Hoover Dam, but then behind us was like the
Okay.
Eiffel Tower. It made zero sense. But
Right,
Adam
yeah,
was
yeah.
there. You know how sometimes you have a dream, and you know like I knew that was Adam, but it was not Adam in Adam's body. Adam was in a different
Yeah.
man's body, but in my subconscious, I was like, oh, Adam's here. Cool,
Yeah,
we're
that's
all in
Adam.
Paris. We're, getting into trouble, right? We're on Segway scooters. I've never ridden a Segway scooter in my life. So we're on Segway scooters riding around.
But you
this
do
giant
scoot a
bridge
lot in
Paris.
Chicago.
Yeah, but not Segway scooters.
You're right. You're right.
So yeah, we're just scooting around. People are like stealing purses and shit because it's like typical tourism in Europe, right? People are getting pickpocketed. We're chasing people down on these Segway scooters, turning them into the police. And then like it becomes nighttime out of nowhere, and then we're like standing over like this like I would call it like kind of like a little lake or pond that just is just filled with these fucking eels. Like you could see them everywhere. Eels, like they're jumping out of the water and shit. And then some blonde chick we were with, who I don't know, in my subconscious, this is nobody to me. This is just somebody we were with. She's like, oh, let's go swimming. And then she just fucking jumps into this shit. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? And then Adam, without hesitation, is like, oh yeah, I'm down. He jumps into this water too. And immediately, Adam is just screaming, like bloody murder. Like, these things are fucking eating him from the dick out. They're going to town. And Adam is just screaming. We fucking yank his corpse out of the water, and his legs are just all mangled. Like, half of his legs gone. Flesh is gone. And then this chick comes out of the water after him, perfectly fine. Nothing wrong with her. And then we were just like,
Oh my gosh, she was eating you the whole time.
No, we were like, we don't want to get accused of murder or anything, or like pushing him in or anything. So let's just fucking leave. So we leave Adam's body there.
Oh
But
my god.
and when I say we leave, I mean we walk like 15 feet away and act like bystanders to this whole situation. And
Oh
then
my
the
God,
cops
what
come
happened?
and everything. And then the cops come and everything. And then like pretty much the cop was like, "Yo, are you with this guy?" We were like, "No, we're not with this guy." Like that we heard screaming and we came over. And they're like, "Oh, well, we got you on cameras with this guy. Like what happened?"
That
We were
quick.
like,
huh?
"Oh," we're like, "I don't know." He jumped in and then started screaming. We yanked his body out, and now he's dead. That's where he is. They're like, "Oh, good thing you didn't follow him because this guy is hyped up on like cocaine." What did I text? I texted you exactly what he said. 'Cause I
Yeah, it
like,
was
I'm
a
gonna
lot,
forget
a
the
litany
details.
of drugs.
I was like, I'm gonna. Okay, so the text I sent you guys is: had a dream that me and some friends were on vacation in Paris, and Adam was there. He was trying to convince us to jump into this pond full of eels. He jumped in and got his legs ripped to shreds. Cop/paramedic showed up and said, "Good thing you guys didn't follow him in. He is hopped up on cocaine, Vicodin, and a shit ton of alcohol." So that was the dream I had, and I woke up like right after then, like so confused. Like, what does it mean?
So
What does it all mean?
Yeah, what does it mean?
I have a couple of questions / comments. First off, you mentioned how you were near the Eiffel Tower and how it turned dark real quick. Did you take some time during your dream to watch the light show at the Eiffel Tower?
Did not.
On the hour, every hour.
That's too bad. We stayed up. My sister was very insistent we see the light show. And so one of the days we were in town, we saw the light show there. Question number 2. After the events with the paramedics, did you return back to your home and did you have an entire wine cellar there of wine to drink for the rest of the evening?
No. I woke
Sounds
up
like it
right
wasn't
after
really
the
Paris
paramedic
then.
stuff.
I was going to say, when we went to Paris, we were very lucky. We got to stay at a family friend's house that their house was located in a suburb of Paris. They had literally like an entire closet. Like calling it a cellar would be like undervaluing it. There was so much wine. And when we got back home to Canada, they were like, we were insulted that you didn't take our wine and drink it yourself. They were like, we were very like gracious to like host you at our house, but the fact that you didn't steal our wine is a major offense. That's
Was
Why
this
would
a
you have
dream
to
or was this real?
That's weird. They should have been like, "Hey, take as much wine as you want when you got there."
Yeah,
not,
right?
Not been insulted that you didn't steal their shit while you were there.
I don't know. It's some weird, people in different countries act in different ways. It's something that we'll have to eventually learn if / when we ever return there. Question number 3. When the paramedics approach you at the end of the dream, what language were they speaking?
Oh, this is the biggest
fluent
indicator.
English. Fluent English.
Oh, yeah.
Fluent
it's definitely not
English.
Paris.
Yeah, this is suspicious. I mean, here's the thing. You have a lot of people in Paris, Paris, relatively close to England. You have a lot of people there that speak okay English, broken English. The fact that they were speaking perfect fluid English, that is very suspect right there. So we got a couple of flags right off the bat.
It's a dream. None of it's real. You got a couple flags. I more want to get down to what does it mean subconsciously for you, Joel? Are you like going through a tough day at work? Like what's going on that you're having these weird dreams?
I honestly couldn't tell you what happened the day before or after that. Like I don't know. It's just a random ass.
I'm
dream.
worried about you, Adam.
Yeah.
I mean, I wasn't there.
You have do we need to host an
Dude,
intervention for your cocaine,
My
and your
Vicodin.
Vicodin, and your shit ton of
Yeah, no,
alcohol?
No, I'm worried that I saw the future. In 1 week, we're gonna get on this podcast, and Adam's gonna be like, "Hold on, I'm running late." He's not running late. He's strolling in from off camera in his wheelchair because both of his legs got mangled. He's rolling in, and he's turning towards the camera.
Adam, have you been to
Final
France?
destination. Absolutely not. No, thank you.
Do you have any intention of going?
Absolutely not. No, thank you.
I will say this is not.
Have you ever jumped and swam in with eels?
I might have been around an eel in the past. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
These were like piranha eels. Like they had like teeth. They were like chomping. Like
Not even that crazy.
I mean this half jokingly, but half sincerely. If any of you guys ever do want to go to France, like I speak French well enough that I can be your translator on that trip. Maybe
I don't need a
Joel,
translator.
Maybe this is the grandfather paradox, where because you introduced this dream, we're now going to be motivated to go to France because I brought up, I can translate for you guys. And this is what will lead to the sequence of events that will lead to Adam getting eaten by eels in the Seine, which is a river that flows through Paris.
I could list probably 20 places I'd rather go before I go to France. So it's going to be a while.
Here's what it is. We're actually going to be at like Kings Island, and they have the fake Eiffel Tower, and you're like, oh shit, there's a new eel exhibit at Kings Island.
Yeah, no, yeah, I've
Or
seen-
Vegas.
I've
Or
seen the
Vegas.
Eiffel Tower many, many times in Vegas, so I think I'm good. Also, they do a light show in Vegas.
Dude.
Now that I think about it, maybe this dream was just in fucking
Exactly.
Vegas.
That's the red herring.
got-
It's
yeah.
actually in Vegas.
They got huge bridges everywhere in Vegas. The Hoover Dam's literally a 35-minute drive from downtown Las
Yep.
Vegas.
Yep.
Maybe we were in Vegas. Adam, were we in Vegas in this dream?
I was going to ask,
It's still not a real thing.
did you see,
Ripley's,
was there
Ripley's
a pyramid?
Believe It or Not is there. And Ripley's also owns aquariums. Eels? Yeah.
Interesting. I was going to say, did you see a pyramid in the background? Did you see the Luxor, however it's pronounced? They probably don't know how to
Cinema.
pronounce it either.
You know, they have like a esports gaming lounge at the Luxor.
Whoa.
Fun fact.
Joel, I have a question for you.
What's up?
How are you so lucid? Like the way you explained your dream is as if it took like 45 minutes of real time. And like, how are you able to like process? Because like my dreams, when I have them once a year, are not so in detailed. I'm not living in them like that. That's crazy that you like lived in a dream for like 45 minutes.
When I have dreams, like they're very, very intense and very vivid. Like I remember them. Like I had a dream when I was like 5 years old. All right, so when I was a kid, my dad had this giant afro and like a scruffy beard. And his nickname was Shaggy. I'm not even fucking with you. His nickname was Shaggy. Whole side story here. We were in Mexico when I was like 7 years old. And my dad's like, yeah, everybody in this town knows me. It's like a small town in Mexico. I was like, yeah, okay, whatever, Dad. Like, you haven't lived here in a long time. Nobody knows you. And he takes us to get milkshakes. And we get these... we get milkshakes. And I'm a little dumb kid in Mexico not realizing, like, oh, in Mexico, most people live in poverty. Like, things are different here, right? And we get these milkshakes, and... we get handed milkshakes in a Ziploc bag with a straw in it. And, like, we go to an establishment and buy these. But anyway, we're there eating milkshakes, and out of nowhere, some guy, hey, Shaggy, just, like, comes out of nowhere. And, like, my dad's talking to this guy for, like, 35 minutes. He's like, yeah, I went to high school with that guy. But anyway, I had this very vivid dream as a kid where my dad, he had this big afro and beard. And me and my brother's bunk beds were in the living room in this dream for some reason. It was just, like, at our old apartment at a place we lived back in the day. And I was sleeping on the bottom bunk, and my dad just, like, had bloodshot eyes and was on the top bunk, and it scared the shit out of me. That's all the dream was. Like, he just looked down at me, and it scared the shit out of me. And I still remember that dream today. Fucking terrifying shit.
That's wild.
Have you ever had a recurring dream? Like the same dream that happens over and over?
I've had that dream over and over again. Like
The bunk
at
bed
least
Is it only
every
the one?
other
Because
year.
I've had a similar experience where I had a dream as a kid that terrified the shit out of me, and then I had that same dream over and over. But I've never had one like as an adult that happens multiple times. Have you had one as an adult that happens multiple times?
You know what?
Or is it
Oh,
just
yeah,
that
I
one that
have.
scars us as a kid?
No. There's one I've had multiple times where I'm just like on a crotch rocket, just fucking speeding through my childhood neighborhood for no reason. I've never ridden a motorcycle in my life. It's just like an adrenaline rush. And I wake up like, what the fuck was I just doing?
Chad, I'm glad that you brought up the topic of recurring dreams, because there actually is a recurring dream that I've had. Like, I haven't had it in a while, but there are multiple times where I've woken up because I've had this dream. So this requires a little bit of background setting. It actually ties into the Japan trip that I have coming up very soon. 2016 to 2017, did a semester abroad in Japan, studied there. When I came back to my home university, which was Concordia University in Montreal, Canada, I still had like a few credits that I had left to complete. A lot of the credits, like 401 level courses. These are like the top of the top game design level courses. High level stuff.
Pause. I have
Yes.
a quick question / joke. Do prestigious colleges in Canada, are they called Maple Leaf or Maple League instead of Ivy League schools?
That's really
Yeah.
clever, but unfortunately, no. Unfortunately,
okay.
no. So I had a bunch of these high level game design courses, but it was what I was already experienced in, so I wasn't expecting them to be particularly difficult. But then there were also a couple of like relatively low level electives that for whatever reason I'd been putting off from doing. And I remember one of the low level electives that I chose was this like really like basic like entry level like Roman art history course. And like a few weeks into that Roman art history course, we had our first exam. I was like, I expect this is probably not going to do, I'm not probably not going to do super bad on this. I expect this will probably go fine. Ended up getting a pretty low score on the test. And I remember coming up to the teacher at the end of one of the following lectures, not to complain, but because I'm like, well, I guess I just didn't do well. I just want to speak to the professor, ask about what I can improve. And the professor spoke to me in such a manner of like, listen here, like big time, like things might have been easy for you when you were in high school, skipping through all your courses, but things are serious now that you're in university, because she assumed this is a low level elective course. I must be someone who's fresh out of high school, not someone that was 3 years into their Maple League University tenure, basically. Um, in the end, this is a very long tangent to say I was able to eventually just get by and pass that particular course, but I still to this day have recurring dreams where I imagine that I'm in university and like I've completed all these higher level courses. I've completed game design 401 and so on and so forth, but I have this one like entry level art course holding me back. It's not necessarily that course, it's not necessarily that particular teacher, but it's like some weird vestigial thing that I never completed that I have to complete in order to be able to graduate. And like there are sometimes there are variations of the dream where it's like I have to go back to university. I never got my diploma. I have this thing that's been haunting me over my head for years now. And thankfully, I've not had it in a while, but it still comes up every now and then because it's just a really weird situation of like, I have one foot out the door. I'm about to graduate, but I have this low level course that I can't crack for whatever reason that's holding me back.
Two things. I think they call that stress. When you have dreams about things that actually aren't real. And two, that sounds like a movie that would star Seth Rogen and Jay Baruchel. It's like, oh man, I missed that 1/2 credit and I gotta go back to college. And he's like fucking 40 or whatever. Yeah.
Pretty much.
I have a recurring dream from when I was a kid. But before I tell you about that, let me tell you about patreon.com/kindafunny. Just kidding. But before that, I'm looking at a Wikipedia page for the Maple League universities in Canada that literally it says the name Maple League was inspired by the Ivy League in the United States. And it is Acadia University, Bishop's University, Mount Allison University, and St. Francis Xavier University, all in Canada. So
I'm familiar with Bishop's University because that's in Sherbrooke, which is not far from Montreal. I literally have never heard of the term Maple League until today.
Well, your Canadian card is revoked. Just
wow.
kidding.
Where do I go now? I don't want to go to the States right now.
Oh, no, you have to come to the States now, and then we're going to
go to Paris, France, where you can hang out with the eels
deport you to Guantanamo Bay.
That's right. I can go to Paris.
So my recurring dream, this is a dream that I've like literally repeated beat for beat, exactly the same dream, probably like 5 or 6 times in my life. And it happened the very first time. I'm pretty sure it was the day that I saw Jurassic Park in theaters. So I was a little tiny baby child. And I saw Jurassic Park. And that night, I had a dream. In my home, we had 3 different, like, they're not attic, like you go up into the ceiling and go into the attic kind of things, but they're just like in your bedroom closet. There's another door that leads to these under the eaves things where like some of it's laid down with plywood. Some of it you just step through the insulation and fall through the roof. And we stored like Christmas lights and shit there. And they were always locked. And they had special keys for those specifically, just because my parents didn't want us accidentally walking into our closets.
You guys live in a farmhouse?
No, that we did buy the house unfinished though, and so my parents finished it. So yeah, we had those we called them the S closets, S1, 2, and 3, and so I have this dream, and my older sister is like, for some reason, telling me, "Hey, we should go upstairs and we should go into the S closet." And I was like, "No, I don't want to go into the S closet. It's weird in there, and there's like boxes and stuff." She's like, "No, let's go." And we go up, and then she's like, "All right, you go in first." And I can see in the crack between the door and the door jamb, I can see a velociraptor eyeball. And I'm like, "No, I don't want to go in there. There's a velociraptor eyeball in the door." And then she's like, you have to go. And then the velociraptor is about to get out of the door for some reason. And I start pulling on the door handle to keep it closed. And the velociraptor is pulling on it to try to open it from its end. And then after about 30 seconds of struggling, we realize, oh, it's actually the other way around. I need to push to keep it closed. And then the velociraptor remembers at the same time it needs to push to open it. And then so we start pushing on the door again against each other. And then we run downstairs. I don't see the velociraptor get out, but we run downstairs. We tell my dad, there's a velociraptor upstairs. And Mandy tried to get me to go under the eaves and get eaten by it. And he walks upstairs. My dad, by the way, is not, I don't think I've ever seen him work out. I don't think I've ever seen him lift a weight in his life. He's not a physically fit person necessarily. But for some reason in this dream, he is fucking Sylvester Stallone from Rambo, shirtless, so many muscles, just a fucking string of shotgun shells across him. And he walks up there with a BB gun, opens up the door to my bedroom, and there are we had an old like Fisher Price pool table in that room. There are 2 velociraptors dancing on the pool table in tutus. And then a T-Rex comes in like at the end of Jurassic Park. Dream ends there.
That took a turn.
That's the dream. I've had that dream literally like 5 or 6 times in my life, beat for beat. Same exact dream.
For me, it's crazy that that has repeated with the details of the tutus and the Fisher Price thing. And I could see you being, as a kid, scared of velociraptors because you watched the movie and they were scary. But to have a repeated dream with a silly ending, but also like, what's this comedy of you guys pushing and pulling the door to say?
I know, right?
What the fuck is going on? For that exact dream to repeat
in the world when it
weird.
happens.
Have there been any variations of the dream in which the dinosaurs have feathers? Or are they always scaly lizard dudes?
They're always Steven Spielberg scaly lizards. Just like
is
in the
Steven
original
Spielberg
movie.
ever in the dream?
You know, I don't know who voices the velociraptors in the dream, but it might be Steven Spielberg.
Wait, they're voiced? You left this part out.
Maybe Steven Spielberg plays my sister. Who knows?
Could be true. You don't know. That's weird.
Adam, you have any recurring dreams or any significant dreams that you can remember at all?
That's the thing. I don't have recurring dreams, period. I also barely dream anymore, just in general. Again, like once a month is probably being generous. Maybe once every 3-4 months. And they're pretty insignificant. The problem with me is that I'm always aware that I'm dreaming, but I don't have any power in them, which makes it not fun. Because everyone's like, oh, lucid dreaming is great. You control it. And I'm like, oh, I'm aware this is a dream. I can't do anything. Because I'm like, all right, maybe I'll be super strong like a superhero. And I go to punch something and I have literally zero PSI whenever I hit something. It's like, oh, okay. So I'm aware that I have no power in the dream and I'm stuck in my own head. This is wonderful. I love this one. I had much more as a kid. Basically every night or every other night, but they were always different. I had one where I fought Slappy from Goosebumps at my daycare that I stayed. So there was at a certain, maybe not, I was probably not even in school yet. I would stay at this one lady's house. I think it was my aunt or something, or just a lady had a daycare out of her house.
That's the name of the dummy.
The dummy, yeah.
Dummy. I was like, who's Slappy?
So the dream was that like I went to the house and then Slappy was there, and I got out of the car and he was in the car, and then I fought him to like the second story of the house, and then I like pushed him out the window. So I remember that happening. I fucked up that dummy from Goosebumps. But like, yeah, I would. But again, it was the thing where like, I know I'm in a dream, but I don't really have. Again, I should be able to take that doll super easy, but it's such a struggle because I couldn't give myself strength. Also, people always said, oh, if you die in a dream, that's so bad because you'll die in real life. Let me tell you how many dreams I've died in. Holy shit. Constantly. And people were like, oh, yeah, you have the dream where you're falling, but you wake up before you hit the ground. Like, no, I wake up because I hit the ground. Not before. It's like, oh, dude, your neck got broke when you hit the ground. And now it's time to wake up. Ooh. So I've died constantly.
Damn.
I have zero power, and I'm fully aware I'm in a dream. I would have believed it
because if I pee in a dream, I pee in real life. Woken up peeing quite a few times in my adult life. You're like, God, that was the best feeling pee I've ever taken in my life. Oh, no, it's real!
Have you guys ever had dreams where you've been able to like use exercise superpowers of any kind? Because I've realized not a recurring dream, but a recurring element in a lot of different dreams I've had is I've had the time rewind superpower. Like things will not go according to plan and I'll be like, and rewind time and redo whatever it is that I was trying to do. That is something that weirdly has popped up in a lot of my dreams.
Here's the thing, Cozy. It'll be a dream where I'm like, oh, hey, there's a bunch of superpowered people around, and I am the weakest one, even though I'm aware I'm in a dream with superpowered people. So, like, I'm like, oh, here go my laser eyes. They literally don't do anything. Fucking wonderful. This is a great dream. I love this so much.
So, if you've been watching me at all in this video, I've been deep into thought trying to find something. And so, when I was in high school, me and my friends were like super into dreams and like talking about our dreams and stuff, to the point that where we had dream journals and we would take notes of our dreams. Like if we had a dream, we woke up, I would write about the dream. It was just a journal.
God, please tell me you found your journal.
No, I don't have the journal. I have no idea where that is. That's long gone. But anyway, we were so into it that at one point, all right, this is going to sound fucking ridiculous. There's a website called IamShaman.com. I couldn't find this website because I was just Googling I am shaman. It doesn't come up under Google, but if you go to IamShaman.com, it comes up, and then you have to click a captcha saying you're a human, and it's a really sketchy looking website. I'm not gonna lie. But
This
anyway,
has a bunch of oils and leaves on it.
yes, exactly. It's exactly what it's exactly what it sounds like.
It's only 1/3 of the web page as well, so this was definitely made in 1996.
Yeah. Anyway, we go on this website and we buy a few things. One thing I'm not going to talk about because we could talk about it off the show. But anyway, the other thing we bought was a tea leaf called Kalea Z that we had like seen YouTube videos about. And this is like supposedly a dream tea. It's supposed to enhance, your dreams, because we were super into dreaming. So we were like, all right, we're going to buy this tea. It got delivered to somebody's house. We're like, all right, we're going to have a sleepover where we just fucking play ping pong, play video games, and then we're going to drink this tea and go to sleep and talk about it in the morning. We made this fucking tea in a giant pot on the stove where we just dumped all these leaves into it and just like let it brew and mixed it. Dude, this tea tasted so bad. It was disgusting. But yeah, basically we drank this tea, slept, nobody noticed anything. It was basically just a waste of time and money. But I just wanted to get the point across. That's how into dreaming I was, is that we were fully committed to buy this dream tea that we had heard about.
The beginning of that story is, I believe, Nightmare on Elm Street 4 Dream Warriors, where they're like, oh, we're going to be really good at dreaming, and then Freddy just kills you anyways. But it ended up in a disappointing place, not like that movie. So.
Cozy, to answer your question about superpowers, I have had a dream where I'm able to, and it's not a recurring dream, but it's a recurring superpower, quote unquote, that I've had, where I can breathe underwater.
Oh,
I'm always, anytime
that
that happens, I'm just like, oh yeah, that's right, I can breathe underwater. I forgot I had this ability that I've always had my whole life, and I just breathe in, and it just feels like really cold air in my lungs, and it's pretty cool.
See, I would kind of like that superpower if there weren't super scary fishes in the sea, like those eels that will one day eat Adam.
Yeah.
Although maybe that's how Adam fights back. If Adam gained the power to breathe underwater, he could probably effectively fight the eels when that fated day comes.
Now, Joel did say it wasn't me, but he knew it was me. So what does that actually mean?
It was actually Prophet's corpse, but your AI was piloting his body.
Nailed it. I'm thinking that. Or maybe it's like a secret descendant. Possession? No, I'm thinking maybe my son.
Possession is 9/10 of the law.
It is. 9 times out of 10.
It's true.
Man, y'all are crazy.
Let's pivot from dreams. Speaking of dreams, I have a unique opportunity to, I think I announced last time on RAFter Dark, or maybe it was on the barf of that one. I have put a deposit on a new home, and I get an opportunity to figure out what all my rooms are and things. So if you could like make a dream home and put whatever you want in your dream home, what would you put in it? And maybe I'll steal some ideas and make my dream home from what you all say.
I mean,
it can be realistic. It can be like something. Yeah, I would put a bowling alley in it. I guess that is realistic if you want it to.
LeBron did it.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, like, I'm very envious of the entertainment center that one Tim Geddes of Kind of Funny has managed to put together.
Oh, that thing. Theater. Yeah.
He's talked much about it on Kind of Funny's many podcasts. It was a multi-year long process. And what he managed to put together is like so impressive, and it's definitely something I would aspire to build if I had the time, money, room space to put something like that together. Because you can imagine that I would get just a tremendous amount of use out of that TV screen, whether it be for gaming, movies, what have you. So that would definitely be number one on my list.
See, for me, it's a little different because, like, Chad, you're moving into this house as a single man, right? I
That's
would be
true.
moving into a house with my wife, who
So
is
does your dream
already
house
so.
not have your wife in it?
No, it has my wife. My dream house, like, she's already so sick and tired of seeing all the Halo shit all over our apartment, to where, like,
Oh yeah.
when we get a house, I have to have a dedicated space, whether that's a room in the house that's dedicated to be like my office / game room, or a whole basement that I can, do 100% my own and put all my nerd shit down there. So, like, I have to have a dedicated space that's just for me.
So, real quick, I just realized that over the course of the past 2 episodes that we've been recording, you all have been able to see a certain black object in the background, but I've never really commented on it. This
Was it Drake jerking
are
off?
I was gonna
soundproof.
say that. I was gonna say, was that Drake?
No, these are acoustic panels that I purchased because I want to experiment with putting acoustic panels around my work gaming place in the basement so that I can better absorb sound. And that actually leads me to my second thing is I definitely would have a like isolated like acoustic treated room where I can do my podcasting and anything that involves me needing to speak into a microphone in a professional manner. That
You wanna know
definitely would be number two.
a fun story? Not
Ooh.
a fun story. It's just a fact. I know 2 people who have that. So there's Jeff Moonen, who's a podcaster and person I hang out with at PAX, who has a dedicated sound booth because he also like voice acts and shit. I'm not going to say how the connection is, but I know a guy who is good friends with Yuri Lowenthal. And apparently
Met
Yuri
on
Lowenthal,
IamShaman.com.
yeah, that's where everyone hung out. Apparently Yuri, I mean, obviously he's a professional, right?
Mhm.
And apparently he had a separate, like an entire space, like not a room, but I think like an entire like new building on the property just to do recording shit. So I'm like, that's cool as fuck. Also, it makes sense if that's your profession. That would be a worthy investment. But that is cool to these multiple people to be like, I've got a fucking sound fucking studio in my house or attached to my house. I'm like, that's fucking dope.
And it's
For
not
work.
like if we're trying to be like, I know you said that like money is not an object in this scenario, but like if we are introducing some degree of budgetary constraints, it's not like I even need like an entire room. I literally just need like a bathroom size room to do something like
I
this, and I'd be golden.
I was looking into like recording, so like in my old apartment in Chicago. I was like, all right, what kind of stuff exists out there for like sound treating a place? And there are pods you can get that are like the size of an outhouse, or like a
Yeah.
porta potty.
That's what I was gonna
are
say.
like, yeah, you can get one of those, put a microphone
My
in there,
company
your
makes those.
laptop, and there we go.
The
Yeah,
company that
so
you own?
Joel, give
The
me one of
company I
those.
work for,
That you own?
yeah, the company I own. We design and manufacture various like RF testing shields and audio testing rooms. And I was gonna say, if you've ever been in an anechoic chamber, it's basically just a giant room that's completely soundproof, and it is scary. Like, we have one down at our office in Cedar Park, Texas, and when you go in there, if you're in there for more than like 30 seconds, you can start to like hear the blood flowing through your body. Like, it's so deafening and scary in there. Like, it'll drive you insane if you sit in there too long.
So yeah,
One of
that's
those
the
in your
one.
home.
Yeah, where you,
That's your
you
dream
hear
home
your
right there.
heartbeat and shit. Yeah, I heard about those rooms. Yeah, you can hear literally like your body doing stuff because it's so quiet in the room. How do you spell that? I just want to Google it.
Here, I'll send you a picture right now.
Okay, sounds good.
I did a user study in an anechoic chamber on an elliptical. Like, you had to work out while you were in this soundproof room. And I tell you, I had no idea that my left knee clicked every time that I raised my leg, but apparently it does. You can hear all sorts of shit in your body that you had no idea was a thing when you're in one of those chambers.
It's just a turn signal. That's all it is. So
click, click, click.
my favorite. So my uncle had one of these, and then my friend in my first job I ever had in high school, his parents also had one. These are both people who bought houses in the 90s and then money went far, so they had very cool things. They both had not just a man cave, right? So my uncle had a quote unquote man cave where it's like a separate room for him, but it was like hidden behind like another door that you had to like go into another room to get to. Basically, it was a panic room, but it was also just like where he had his TV to watch fucking football. That was really fucking cool. It's like, you're crazy, but I appreciate this.
So,
And
go ahead.
oh, go ahead. No, go.
All right. So I want to say this might have been Max Scoville who once talked about this on the Comedy Button or one of the other podcasts he's been on. What I might be interested in doing is sort of like kind of like a man cave, but also kind of the opposite of it in spirit. Basically like an analog room. So a room that you walk into, there are no TVs, there are no computers, there's no internet access, excluding Wi-Fi. It's just books and records and like things of that nature for when you're like, I want to get away from it all while still being, wrapped up in the excess around me, I guess you could say.
I could never
You
do
know-
that. I literally
you know
today I
what's-
was like,
Go ahead.
I was thinking to myself, I'm gonna actually go on a walk. People talk about, oh, you should go on a walk for your mental health and all that. And I was like, I go on walks 4 or 5 times a day with my dog, but I always am like, I'm on my phone, on Slack, I'm listening to a podcast, I'm on a WebEx call, whatever. And so I'm never like actually on a walk. And so today I was like, I'm gonna go on this dog walk right now for 30 minutes, and I'm not gonna look at my phone once, and I'm not gonna have my headphones in, and I'm just gonna be there, and I'm gonna do the analog thing of just walk with my dog. And it literally didn't leave the apartment complex before my phone was in my hand, and I was like, how the fuck did that happen? How did I get into Slack looking at my phone? It's like I couldn't go literally like 90 seconds without getting my phone out and looking at it.
Going back to Cozy's comment about having an analog room, my company one time built an RF shield, which is basically just building a Faraday cage.
The company you own.
Yeah. Some guy paid our company like $80,000 to build one in his living room because he was so paranoid of like the government and radio signals. So that way
I saw
he
this
could
movie.
sit in there pretty much.
I saw this
When he
movie.
was
It's The
home.
Heretic with that British guy, and he does that to get these little Mormon girls in there, and then he makes them kill each other, and he makes his whole house an RF shield so they can't call out.
Hugh
Grant. That's what it is.
Hugh
Yep.
Grant?
Yep.
Yeah, that's a good movie.
Yep.
That's crazy.
And the whole home is RF shielded so that they can't get phone calls or call the police.
That's an interesting movie. They go some places.
Yep.
The second one, besides my uncle, my friend who I worked with in high school, his parents were actually rich. Like I think his dad was a lawyer and his mom was like a fucking councilman or some shit, or councilwoman. They had the full ass basement where like you could just
God,
live,
I want
like
a basement.
the basement was better than people's houses, where they had a full bar, like an actual bar.
Ooh,
with the
that's
things
another one,
behind the
yeah.
bar.
Let me
They
tell
had the
you, Adam,
projector.
you
They
need
had all kinds of shit.
you need to make the holy pilgrimage to Providence, Rhode
Oh.
Island, and
Oh.
go to Matt Vieira's parents' basement.
Oh, man.
Because that
Yeah.
when Matt was walking us through that basement, I was like, wait, you used to just fucking live here as a kid? Like this is insane.
You used to
Like, it
live
was
in
the-
your house?
It was the giant. It was like his huge basement. They had like a whole kitchen down there. I think there was a bedroom down there. There was a bar, and then there
You
was just
could
sliding
make-
doors that led outside. He's like, "Yeah, if you go out the door, you go to the pool over there." I'm like, "Where the
Straight
fuck
up.
are we?"
You could make an entire Metroidvania game set in his house. It's like, and then you get the keys, and then you unlock the next area. It was, man, what a place! What a place!
Do we know who that house is going to in the will? You know?
We
we
do
get
know
one really
if
good
Matt
with
if
the
Matt had
parents
his
and-
way, it'd be going to them right now.
right now. Yeah,
And he would just
we do
remodel
know. Yeah, we do know that he wanted to move in there when we were there, and it was an option, but apparently
But
not
his
an
wife's
option.
like, I just want a house that was built in 1400 that has creaky everything and no power outlets anywhere. And he's like, why?
We could have a big house. That's crazy. So yeah, a full bar would be cool. Projector, all that shit. They even had, of course, there was a finished bathroom. I remember because the first time we ever got drunk, someone slept in that bathtub. There was even Rock Band was really popular. So there was even a space that was down in that basement that they just turned into the setup for Rock Band. So they put all the instruments like up against the wall, and it was like it was sort of under the staircase, so it was like sort of good acoustics because like the ceilings were very low on it or open above it. And yeah, so they even had a Rock Band fucking corner on top of the projector on top of the bar. But again, they were like legit rich, and I was like, cool, works for me.
I can't
So
tell
if
you
you get
how
rich,
many
you put in
times.
the bar in the
Probably
house.
2 or 3 times a year for the last, I don't know, 8 to 10 years. I've done a little YouTube search of just like, all right, projector versus giant OLED TV screen. Just because I want that movie theater in my home. I've watched so many YouTube like
It
we
doesn't
turned our
compare.
basement into a theater thing, and it's like, no, it's you have to go the giant OLED TV route. That's the only way. And yeah, it's gonna
So
cost you like $20,000, but you gotta.
what I'm curious, Chad, is like, I feel like we've been talking about what we would want in our dream house. Is like, what are you looking forward to making / setting up in your upcoming house?
I know this sounds weird. Like most people, I guess maybe most people who have a family like want their own space to dear God just be myself for a second and not have the kids running in while I'm pooping and that kind of stuff. But I'm just like I'm thinking of taking all of my nerd shit and putting it in one bed. I'm getting a 3-bedroom home. I'm thinking of making one of the bedrooms 3D printing studio with a workbench and there's like a whole wall just covered in nerdy disc plates and shelves of Game Boys and shit like that. And then making the rest of my home just like a real life boring person's home. And
You
like
should do
one
that.
of the bedrooms, I'm so fucking stoked to just make a guest bedroom that almost never gets used. But whenever I have a friend come over and they don't have to sleep on the couch, I'll be so happy. But like that's the adult dream, I guess. Just
Are
having
you
a
going to get
regular ass bedroom.
speakers throughout the house that play the TV, so whenever you do something else,
Yes.
Midnight Mass can
Yes.
still be playing? Okay.
Uh-huh.
That's the most
Uh-huh.
important thing.
Yeah.
But here's the good thing, though, about having the separate room, where like you can keep that separate if you want to have quote unquote normal people come over. But then if
Yeah.
you're like, you bring a real freak over, you're like, hey, look in this room. And then you get
Yeah.
bonus points for being a little freak. Good
Yeah.
time.
You want to print out sex toys on this 3D printer and play with each other?
It'll take 6 hours, but I got you.
So yeah, I'm thinking of doing that. And honestly, I have a lot of instruments, and I don't really play a lot of music nowadays, just because I've lived in an apartment complex of some kind with shared walls of everybody. But my new home is going to have a part on the first floor that is like it's a bedroom sized entryway, and the shared walls are other people's staircases. So like I don't actually share any walls with people there. And then my second floor of my home is above that space. So there's like literally no one around me. So I think I'm gonna turn you walk in the front door, this big entryway. I think it's gonna be like my music room. I have my piano there, my cello, my guitar, my violin, all that shit that I haven't played in years. I'm just gonna fucking rock out.
As someone who's played and been around other neighbors who play instruments, the only annoying instrument is drums. Pianos aren't.
Oh yeah.
You know,
No,
as long as you don't have a
no
drum kit, I
drums.
don't think anyone's gonna be mad at you. Drum kit are the one thing I will come murder you in your house for. Anything else, it's fine. Whatever.
Yeah, and then I'm just like, what do I do with the rest of the home? Got to figure out what I'm doing with my living room. I got a couple balconies.
You
Guest
should
bathroom.
you should subtly theme your guest bedroom after some video game of some sort.
Oh, dude, I fucking loved
Like-
it. Like my bathroom is like subtly BioShock themed. Like it's not like there's nothing in there that screams I'm a video game, but like the art is like it
Yeah.
looks like cool little underwater rapture kind of stuff.
In my head, I'm picturing Destiny 2, the final shape. Like the whole color scheme of like the orange and like the green and the white. Like I love those colors together to the point where like I've looked up like to find some custom keycaps that have that color scheme, but I haven't found anything yet. Like just if you threw all those colors in that bedroom, it would look really clean. And nobody would know, but you would know.
I like that idea. And then when somebody comes over and they're a friend and they do say, and they're like, is this Destiny 2 Final Shape themed? And then I propose to them on the spot, because in the other room I have a wedding ring or a engagement ring that I've been waiting for somebody to recognize that that's Destiny.
I mean, that'll be Joel though, because he's the one who gave you the idea. So that's
Yeah,
the only
and
I
the
would,
person-
engagement ring
I'd be
is
married
just-
with,
it's just-
well,
It's
I
just
don't
a
know if
raid
Joel
ring
would
of
travel to
Destiny.
come to this wedding, because Joel does not fly to anyone's weddings.
That's right. He
So
said
I'd have
that.
to get married in
I
Chicago.
didn't say I do not. I said I have not.
Okay.
He will for his
Okay,
own,
you're
though.
telling me there's a chance. All right. Well, I tell you what, your secret room that you keep all your nerd shit in can be at my home, and then we can just like have our own second family over there while you go home to Elise sometimes on the weekends.
Sometimes.
So I just shared in the chat an Instagram reel that a friend shared with me not too long ago. And it's basically this guy going through all these like crazy like contraptions in his kitchen to make it more efficient and hide a whole bunch of stuff. There's like this like thing that he does to like hide all his cooking oils whenever he wants to cook stuff. There's like a thing underneath his island whenever he wants to bring in and out his stand mixer. There's like at the end of the video, like straight up like a walk-in cabinet when he wants to get all his like fruits and vegetables and things of that nature. If I were to like redesign my kitchen from day one, I would obviously want there to be, I would want to make it a little bit easier to film my cooking streams in there if I ever were to do those again. Right now, I'm taking an extended break from those. I may theoretically never go back and do them again, but if it were to start those up again, I would want it to be just a little bit easier for me to do all that stuff, because it was always such a hassle to have to like set up the lights and set up all the things in place to make that stuff work. But then I would also kit it out with all these sorts of like cool little accoutrements and vegetable storage areas and things like that. Because man, kitchens have advanced so much in the past 10 years.
This is cool, but like,
we're not
holy
taking
hell,
advantage of it.
this guy, the amount of money, the fact that this dude has an island with a fucking sink in it, it's like, oh, this guy's got
I'm pretty sure
$100,000 in his fucking kitchen.
I would suspect, I don't think he's filming all these like little micro videos inside the same house. I'm pretty sure these are in multiple different houses, or this is maybe some weird
Different
room
rich people
situation.
houses.
Maybe, I don't know.
I think that's what rich people like to do. They like to spend money on kitchen shit because they're like, why not? We'll have the help use the nice kitchen.
People, I tell you, especially as I've been looking at homes, like people put money into the kitchen because kitchens sell homes. Like when people are looking to buy a nice place, they're always like, oh, look at that kitchen. Oh, look at that island. Oh my God, these countertops. Oh, let's buy it. Oh, let's jerk off on it.
Let me tell you, I didn't buy a house because the countertops, a lady didn't use a cutting board and she would just cut on her marble countertops, which is, I mean, whatever. She's an older lady, whatever. But I'm like, I don't want to buy this shit. Let me tell you, I don't want to buy this cut up fucking marble countertop. I'm good on this. I immediately didn't want it.
Yeah.
I don't know. So I want to preface this by saying, I don't know how this would actually work, but I would want a kitchen where you could somehow raise and lower the heights of the countertops manually. Like, I don't know if you have to have some like crazy, like hydraulic system underneath the countertops to like make that work, which would probably be more expensive than the kitchen itself. But I'm the kind of person where I find like I'm often like reaching down, bending down whenever I have to work on the countertop, and it can put a little bit of stress on the backside after a while. And so something like that, again, if we're going in the money as an object realm of possibility, is something I would like.
Well, Cozy, you're in luck because this episode is sponsored by Uplift Desks.
Shit. Oh my
They
God.
now make
I do
Uplift
have a question.
countertops.
Uplift countertops. Here's the thing, because this is a silly show. It's After Dark. No sex dungeon, Chad? You're not going to take a room and make a sex dungeon? There are people who have those.
Hold on,
I don't know
hold
those
on,
people,
hold on.
but those people have them.
When I said regular ass guest room, that's what I meant. What does your guest room look like?
It's just
Is it
another
not
bed.
a sex dungeon?
It's a twin size
Just
bed in
another-
another room.
Oh my God. There's not even a bed in my guest room. It's just
why
spikes.
do you need it?
There's a
It
swing.
looks
Spikes
exactly
and
like that
swings.
anechoic chamber that Joel sent us. It looks like, a bunch of hazards in a Celeste game, but it's for sex. I am going to have a 2-car garage, and I only own 1 car. So I'm going to have a whole
Ooh.
car's worth of space.
Get some
Then I'm
saws.
thinking of maybe I'm definitely going to get like a little table saw. Because I've got my, like, everything goes on a fucking power drill collection of power tools, but it's like, I need a table saw. I want to do actually. But so yeah, I'm going to have a little table saw in there, and I'm thinking of getting a little squat rack and maybe a little bench, a little weight bench there. Get swole, get strong.
I mean, according to your dream, you don't need to work out a day in your life. Just put a bandolier of shotgun shells and go kill a velociraptor, and you're fine. You don't
That's
need to worry
right.
about it.
All it takes is a velociraptor to show up, and you become strong. Yeah.
That's what it is. But for real though, sex dungeon? We doing that?
Yeah,
an
every
idea.
every room's a sex dungeon.
But here's the thing. I know that people have them. Have you ever been to someone's house and they're like, by the way, don't go in that room. Don't want to be weird, but it is a sex room. I've never seen that, but you always, someone's got to have it out there, right? Or is it just clubs?
See, the people that I know online that have something akin to what you're describing, it's like, it's not even necessarily something that they use themselves. It's like, this is something that we use when my group of people get together, basically. Like it's more of like a communal thing that one person happens to own. You know?
Yeah,
what
but
I mean?
I'm saying, who's the person who's like, I don't. We use it as a group thing, but it is in my house at all times.
So it's like, oh, don't go to Steve's house if he invites you over. You're gonna get into some freaky shit. That's the only reason people go to
don't let
Steve's.
Steve watch the kids when you're out of town. Don't drop them off at his house.
Yeah, like they'll
Joel-
have fun upstairs, but if they venture downstairs, it's bad luck.
Joel, you did inspire one choice. I get to customize parts of this home. It's in the middle of being built, and so I get to like customize a couple of things about it. And one of them was the woman asked me, "Do you want a second power outlet in your bathrooms?" I was like, I mean, maybe.
Yeah,
and she's like,
you
you would put a second one right next to the toilets for a bidet. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, yes, I would like that. So now both of my bathrooms are going to have a power outlet right by the toilet specifically to spray your asshole.
Well, in
And this
fact,
is inspired by Joel because if you ever pooped at Joel's house, he has a bidet and it's
I do
wonderful.
have a bidet, and met multiple people that I've met on the internet have used my bidet, which is strange.
Wait.
true.
Hold on. Time out. You know what country has a lot of bidets?
Paris.
France?
Exactly. France has a lot of
Oh.
bidets. It's all connected.
They have a lot of baguettes.
You know, my
They have a
bidet
lot
is
of that
not,
too.
Ooh.
is not plugged into a wall though. It's just all. It just hooked up straight to the water line.
But that's gonna be cold
But how
ass
does
water.
it, how does it spray?
No. Pressure. You're
Pressure.
opening and
Yeah,
closing
pressure.
the valve.
Oh shit! Yeah, I guess that's right.
It's the same way a sink
Your
works.
toilet doesn't flush with electricity. It flushes with.
Well, maybe
just pressure
maybe
and
then we'll
gravity.
need to put a hairdryer next to the
I
toilet.
mean,
so you
to
can
be
dry your
fair,
hair on there.
I have 0 outlets in my bathroom. That's one of the weird quirks of living in a super old Chicago apartment. There's 0 outlets in my bathroom, so Chad's just getting my outlet. That's how we're gonna look at
There
it.
you go.
You got to label
That's how I'm
it
going
as
to
mine.
convince you. That's how I'm going to convince you to come marry me and live with me half of the weeks. Half of the week is. You got to come here if you want to plug in your beard trimmer.
If you want power in the in the fucking. Wow. Yeah. How do you shave? I guess probably with a razor.
No, it's an electric trimmer.
There's no electricity in your bathroom. You just said.
Well, yeah, it's wireless. I don't
Just
have
like a
any
rechargeable.
wires.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I have like
Y'all-
the clippers you get from that like barbers use that you have to plug in. That's what I
Oh
was thinking.
yeah.
Same with like
I
my
had those for a
toothbrush. I have
while,
to
and then
like
it's like,
if my toothbrush is about to die, I have to go like charge it somewhere else in my apartment and then bring it back when I brush my teeth again. It's kind of annoying, if I'm being honest.
I got
Just
everything
move it with Chad.
USB-C.
Problems
I
fixed.
got a USB-C beard trimmer. I got a USB-C powered toothbrush. I was like, I'm no longer keeping weird ass proprietary chargers and power cables around my home anymore. USB-C or die, or I just don't use that thing anymore.
Just don't brush your teeth.
They did have an option like, hey, you can put in power outlets that have USB-C A on one side and USB-C on the other side in parts of your home too. And I was like, bitch, no, there will not be a single USB-A port in this entire house. I'm not going to be stuck with that dinosaur.
Also, in 10 years, they might all be dinosaurs. So
Yeah.
yeah, I wouldn't fuck with it.
Well, it's RAFter Dark, y'all. It's
Hell
been an
yeah.
hour of us
Raptor.
talking about dreams
I
and
was saying
dream
it's been an hour,
homes.
right? Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
Dreams and dream. Oh, look at this guy. He tied it all
Yeah.
together.
Yeah. See?
Fucking professional over here.
That's why they pay me the dollars. Thank you everybody for listening. If you're listening to this episode in the month of April 2025, and you know what the Destiny the Final Shape color palette looks like, and you're in the San Jose, California area, come on by. I'd love to marry a patron. If you're not, if you're listening to this any other month and you don't pay us $1, then fuck you. That's it. I'm
Chad,
kidding.
real
That can't
quick.
be it. I can't be it. I can't.
I got one. I got a
Thank you.
funny
Thank you
thing to
everyone
go
for
out on.
I
Not
was
a funny.
concerned. I just want to say I was concerned for a second that we were going to literally end the
Just end it
episode
on
on
fuck
that
you.
note. I was
So
like,
this
oh
is
no.
this is
for
a skeet from Michael Hyam of
Okay.
IGN and Blessing's roommate. He made a skeet the other day. Tinder gave him notification, and the award for most anticipated return to Tinder goes to Michael. Trophy emoji. So everyone, you could win an award as well.
Love that. All right, folks. Thanks for being a patron over at patreon.com/respawnamefire. We'll see you next time, I guess.
Fuck you.
Fuck you.
You
Love
fuck.
you.
Stupid hoe.
Love you.
We love you so much. Remember to hoe your vertical garden when you get the chance.